change things, or especially audio, but then I suppose they have to, but then there's stuff they change around and take out, and it just bothers me sometimes. Again, this is a video I still own. By the way, since I've been doing this podcast, I've been thinking about these videos. I'm like, it was only about 10 years ago I used to go on like sites and look how much these videos were. They were like next to nothing, like 99p. Now, I mean, my VHSs, they actually go for quite a bit. I'm quite surprised. Anybody wants to check that out, I mean, like, if you've got stuff, I don't think I'll ever part ways with mine, but I have got some duplicates that I've got that I may want to sell, and also I've got a lot of WCW VHSs, which I know do bring in a hefty price because they've never redone any of those ones from the original stuff from Time Warner. And now we see Shawn going to use this chair. Oh man, this is the only problem with watching stuff back in this time, is like, because what we know now about head concussions, it's kind of brutal. But here, I'm guessing you looked at a lot of the promo shots that Undertaker took. It was just straight to his head. I mean, geez. You see Undertaker kicking out very comfortably almost. I like the fact that even though Michaels is like, you know, he got him on the back foot down for a time, it's still that kind of thing, like when there's almost an urgency in the match to get it done, get it sorted quick, because you know Undertaker's going to come back to life and there's a problem. And that's how I was watching it. Now, obviously at the time, I was rooting for the Undertaker, no doubt about it. Not just because he was the babyface, but also I was the Bret fan, so I did not want Michaels to win this at all. So here we see, this is what I call the Andre spot. Andre loved that spot, just to fall back into the ropes. But Shawn used this a lot as well. I remember at WrestleMania 10 against Razor. But it's a cool spot, and this is a good little feature to have in this match. The fact they went there. Yeah, straight big boot right into Michaels. Now, this is a big moment in the match here. You see the cameraman's out. Who's been landed on. And I think he's going to get like whacked for his troubles. That's excellent. Yeah, now he gets beaten up. And this is one of the key parts to the match, because I remember watching this thinking like, geez, what's he doing this guy? Is he just trying to get more heat? You know, like, but see the Undertaker going on. But this is like quite a big turning point in the match. You'll see it coming soon, how this all operates, as Michaels just continually beats this guy up for, I don't really know why he takes it out on him so bad, but there is sense to his madness by the end of it. So yeah, they make quite a big deal of that. Again, nice that they've left in the little glitches. I do like that. Don't ask me why. I like it that they've left it, you know. I don't think it necessarily is artistic or anything like that just because that's happening and there's glitches, but I like the fact that it's not perfect, you know, and it's live and you get that real feel to it, and it's good when they don't tamper with stuff. Now, there's a guy in there and he's calling for somebody to get him obviously medical assistance, and that's what the commentary team are selling as well. See the nip up there from Shawn Michaels. It's about to get worse. He's going to go for the elbow drop. There's Commissioner Slaughter. You see that whole head and I was like, what do I do? So basically, what's happening here is they're going to open this to obviously get medical assistance to the guy that's down now. So this is a time where the cage door of the cell door, should I say, is going to be opened to get this guy out. So Slaughter is doing his best. You've got the ref on the outside, and we're hitting up for Sweet Tune music. See that guy taking out, hits the super kick, Sweet Chin music. Look at that, Taker sits up. It's like, holy shit, what am I going to do? And this is the opportune moment, right? This is it. They've got out. Now, I suppose in hindsight, you could argue like, should they have gone outside in the first ever Hell in a Cell? Because you kind of, in essence, you kind of spoil the big reason to have the match in the first place, that there should be no way in or no way out. But then if you got camera guys in there, I think the story they told with the guy, the camera guy, I really buy into that. Absolutely fine. And I suppose in hindsight, future Hell in a Cells, like from this point, because we're going to see stuff coming up, I'm not going to give it away, but we're going to see them use a lot of the outside. And of course, for future Hell in a Cell matches, after just number one, people are already expecting that to happen like every time. And it did become a bit of a thing. If there was one negative, it was always like every time you got to a Hell in a Cell, people expected it, especially after the second one with Mick Foley, but people expected that whole get up on, full jump, and what we saw from Shane McMahon a couple of years ago all the time. And it's kind of a shame, because I watched the match. If you watch a match, I think it was in 2002, Brock Lesnar and Undertaker, and I would say it's the best Hell in a Cell in terms of the actual gimmick of Hell in a Cell. Like, they use all the right parts of the cell. They don't get out in it at all, but they use the cell and they use it as a weapon. The best that I've ever seen. But like I say, that was 2002, so there had been a lot of Hell in a Cells, not loads, but a few. I think like it might have had a dampener. Here we go. Shawn Michaels literally flies up to the top, and you're like, holy shit. Now, bear in mind, when this is happening, we've not seen anything like this in WWF. Nothing. Two guys standing on this freaking crazy concept. Like, nobody knows what the hell's going on. You're watching this, you're thinking, holy shit, this could go bad. This could go real bad. And you know what, it does go bad. Look at that shot there. That is just scary, right? Now, I know it's not as massive and as hyped as today's, but like back here, oh my god. And he's like just shredding Shawn Michaels' face on that cell. So, yeah, going back to my original point, I don't know in hindsight, should they have done this that early? Could they have saved this? I think they could have. But then, at the same time, would this match have had the appeal to have it a second time if this kind of stuff didn't happen? That's my big thing. I think it kind of would have done, because it was Undertaker. But the story they tell here, obviously, I think they had to do this. Or maybe they didn't really, actually, thinking about the ending of this one. But yeah, it's one of those ones. This is, again, you're thinking like, oh crap, what's going to happen here? And Shawn Michaels as well, at this point, it's worth pointing out, he was like known as pretty much the daredevil, that will try anything once almost. That sort of attitude. I haven't watched this like properly. See this clip a few times, but you see the Foley one more. But take nothing away from it. I know people will go, well, that's nothing on Shane McMahon. I'm telling you, at this time, this was nuts. People were watching this. People were losing their minds over this stuff. because they just could not believe what they were watching. And look at the violence, the level of violence you're seeing on the screen, the blood that they're using in it. Again, I miss them using the blood. Like, I don't want people opening themselves up with razors, but I mean, I just do a Ric Flair, use the fake stuff, right? I mean, there is something visual about it, about making it violent. You see all that crap hanging around Shawn Michaels. And this is, at this point, you're like, Shawn ain't going to survive this. Shawn is not going to survive this now. He's just been thrown off, and now he's just been like long died all over the place. And kudos to the Undertaker as well. Like, 6'8", 9" guy just climbing that thing like nobody's business. People don't talk about that enough. He did that many times. You don't see too many guys his size being able to, just literally launch up the cell like that. Of course, we'd see a Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania, what was it, 2028 against Triple H, where Shawn was the referee in it. And just imagine, not knowing all these years later at WrestleMania 25 and 26, they'd have those iconic WrestleMania matches, these two. You just wouldn't picture it from this position. Shawn is just absolutely... I forgot just how much blood was on Shawn's... Look at that. Look at that as a visual. Again, we'd seen something like visually appealing like that with Austin and Brett, and trust me, without that visual, I don't think it would be quite the match. So yeah, at this point you're like, this is game over. It's just a matter of time. You can see Undertaker here putting him up on the top. Obviously, where we're at now, I don't even know if that is a thing or it isn't, but they now have pay-per-views called Hell in a Cell, and I really I despise having pay-per-view names after like matches. It just really gets on my nerves badly, because I think these matches should only be necessary when you have to go to that place in a feud or whatever, something makes sense. But now, just because you go there because it's that time of the year, and it just seems so like forced, like most things in WWE of today, really, I suppose. But we got another chair now. You see old head and like just trying to be like, please don't. Oh man, headshot. Damn, it's hard to watch, It's hard to watch. So now we're going to go for the tombstone. Undertaker about ready to finish this. And hold on, what the fuck is going on, as they say. Going to have to definitely put explicit on this episode of the podcast. Sorry guys, I just cannot. I knew it would be. We're at Badd Blood. It's violent. And look at this. Holy shit. Now, when I watched this, when I was a kid, I was freaking, I was losing my mind. I was like, what the shit is this? And obviously Paul Bearer's there, and you're like, holy shit, this is the brother he's been talking about. Like, for a long time, I just was like, nah, it ain't going to be a guy coming in. And if he is, I did not picture them doing something like Kane. It wasn't a Kane character I was going for. And you look how like violent he was there. He just like throws the ref out. Like, there was like, I'm going to admit, there was a bit of like scariness to it. This was so well done. You got the red lighting. A time before all the crazy wackiness that we see now. And so you get this moment of Kane just staring into the eyes of the Undertaker. And all of a sudden, Paul Bearer, who's always pretty much on the losing end in their feud with Mankind, more times than not, all of a sudden, there is a huge threat to the Undertaker. And here we're going to see